let's start a little bit with the history of how you got into it, where you grew up, what attracted you to winemaking in the first place.
Yeah. So my father was a serial entrepreneur, and I like to say that he always invested in Mother Nature based businesses. So he actually started a ski area in Colorado in 1965. We started Silver Oak, co-founded Silver Oak in 1972, and Dad was also in the oil and gas business, and got more serious about that in the late 70s and early 80s. So I always like to say we started Silver Oak before before the oil business helped out things a little bit. But so we're a family business, and my path here actually led through my education. I got my master's at the University of Denver, and got an MBA there back in the 90s. And
At the Daniels School, right?
the Daniel School now. I was there before it was the Daniel School.
Okay.
And dialed into the internet for the first time while I was in business school, if you think about that.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
That really ages you, times you out.
I know. But I did my final thesis project on Silver Oak, and built the business model, and then that led us to acquiring full ownership of the winery, and then I moved here full time about 20 years ago. So I have been here now for many years, raised our kids here in Napa. It's just a great experience.
So if you don't mind me asking, during that business project for your degree, you had to learn from wine from scratch, or did you have some experience in the industry before that could leverage for your business plan?
Well, I had the good fortune of growing up in Colorado, so I didn't grow up here, as sort of what we would call a cellar brat in the business. And I mean that in the most wonderful way. But I've always been very curious. I actually spent my youth farming in Colorado. And so the farming part of the wine business is what attracted me. And so I was around it and knew it, but I am not the winemaker, thank God. And not a scientist really by background. I'm more of a business person, and think more of I've gotten a lot of experience now, and so I definitely have my opinions about things. But I've been very fortunate to have a wonderful team around me, and be able to make these wines that people drink and buy every year and love.
So you said you're not the winemaker, so we're going to tread on a little dangerous ground here. We're going to talk wine. Most of our listeners have been through some kind of winery tour somewhere on the planet. But can you walk us through the process from putting a vine in the ground and the challenges associated with that to releasing a new vintage? There's a lot that goes on in between.
Yeah. So the biggest factor that people often don't understand in winemaking, especially fine winemaking, and it's really particular to Silver Oak because we have about the longest process that you can imagine. So, from the time you plant a vine to the time the grapes are ready to make into wine is about 5 years. It takes a vine 5 years before it produces, bottle quality grapes. And for us, we pick let's say the 2022 vintage, then we ferment it, we put it in barrel for 2 years, and then we bottle it for 2 years. So, day after tomorrow, we're going to be releasing our 2018 vintage. So if you're listening to this in the future, it's February of 2023. We are releasing a wine that we made 5 years ago, and
wow.
And so
sign me up.
That part of it is a big part of it. So it's pick the grapes, crush them, ferment, barrel, bottle, and then enjoy. In a nutshell.